get your lick back. If a nigga gon' do something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. Get your lick back. If a nigga gon' do something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. I feel like I'm JX.
J-Way.
I'm a perfectionist. Adderall got me restless.
I'm gone.
Run with a wild crew, they get reckless. Young boy, come up off that neck. Into the trends. See a lead, be the band.
Welcome to Bleachers, the Speakers. I'm your host, Joe, and I got my boy B Foster. Before we get into this segment here, I want to remind everyone to subscribe to Bleachers, the Speakers on YouTube. And for your audio fix, please follow us on all the podcast aggregators. That's anywhere you can find an audio podcast. You can find Bleachers, the Speakers. All you have to do is type in Bleachers, the Speakers, FFSN in your search. Make sure you're following. Make sure that notification bell is on, so when we drop content, you will get an alert and you can download those episodes. This is the featured player of the week, and this is from an NFL draft prospect. With the draft approaching, this is very essential. You can get your news here on these players, before they're even drafted, thanks to B Foster. B Foster, who are we talking about here today?
All right, we're talking about a guy that made some noise at the combine today with some of it, not today, but this week with some of his measurables. But it's Landon Jackson, who's an edge rusher out of Arkansas. This guy measured in at around 6'6", 6'7", 273 pounds, and he ran a 4.68 40. He had a 40 and a half vertical, and he had a 10-foot, 9-inch broad jump, and he measured in with an 83 and 5/8 wingspan. This guy, his strengths, he's got great length and size for an NFL edge, and he has room to grow on his frame. He's as a run defender, he's physical at the point of attack and takes on blockers with decent leverage for a guy of his height. He has strength and length. His strength and length allows him to get extension against offensive tackles and set the edge. He has good block recognition. He recognizes when he's being unblocked. He has active hands as a pass rusher to help him defeat the blocker, and he has a good cross chop, effective in stunts, and has a high motor. As far as his weaknesses, a lot of his weaknesses are due to mechanics, which is not, uncommon for a guy that's 6'7", because it's a lot more height to be coordinated at that height. He's a little slow and robotic with his movements. He lacks acceleration to win around the edge. Bend at the top of the rush is just average, and he's not a violent block shedder. His hand placement could be a little wide as a run defender as well. As far as his production at Arkansas in 2023, he had 44 total tackles, 6.5 sacks, and 1 pass deflection. In 2024, he had 49 total tackles. He had 6.5 sacks again, with 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, and 3 pass deflections. As far as his position, as far as his role with Detroit, once again, he'd be a rotating edge that would be able to rush the quarterback. He would be getting tutelage from yet another 6'7" edge that could possibly, make him a monster at the next level. But I really like his versatility. He's able to get his hand in the passing lanes as he should at 6'7". But I think there's some potential for him to grow as he continues to build on muscle and refine some of his techniques. Because like I said, at 6'7", it can be, your development's going to be a little bit slower because it's hard to have fluid motions when you're that size. I mean, this guy's 6'6", 273 pounds. So but he could really transform into a crazy pass rusher at the next level with the right coaching, I believe.
Pass rushing, defensive end is a position of desire and need, in my opinion, for the Detroit Lions. And I don't think I stand alone with that as far as a position of need. This guy will be around at the 28th pick. And if he's not, there's somebody else that's going to fall. But I could see this guy being in a Lions uniform with those measurables. I haven't heard of him until the combine, and I'm curious to see what his film looks like in actual games as far as his motor. But you can't teach those type of attributes that he has. Those are to be that tall and to be that fast and mobile gift. And like I said, you can't teach that. So, man, I'm looking forward to this draft. I like this prospect as far as a combine aspect, and there's no reason the Lions should be able to pick up a good defensive end in the draft if that's the direction they chose to pick. And the reason why that's an option is because you still have free agency and you still have deals going on. There's been a lot of deals going on as far as trades for players. So we're going to see how this plays out. I'm saying if the Lions don't pick up a free agency or pick up someone in free agency at the defensive end or make a trade for a defensive end, there definitely should be drafting in the first round for one. And this is a guy that could be picked if the fit is right. Once again, Foster, you've done a great job. Make sure you subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube.
Get your lick back. If a nigga gon' do something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop, let this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. Get your lick back. If a nigga gon' do something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop, let this shit slide and get your lick